Hello Capricorn, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina and today we are doing your love predictions for March 2020 for this Venus in Taurus transit. This is going to apply to Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep in mind that this is a general reading and it might not apply to everyone. Also, even though, yes, these are considered love readings, it doesn't necessarily have to be strictly love. It can also extend to any sort of interpersonal relationship that you might be experiencing, dealing with, whatever the case is, okay? So it's not just strictly love and romance. It, goes into different roles, like different ways of love, I guess you could say. So keep that in mind. So yeah, if you like the video, if it resonates with you, let me know in the comments down below. Give the video a thumbs up, share with your friends, your family, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification to know when I upload my videos. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on Twitter. No, you can't. You can do so at Sinfulpluto.com. If you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. That being said, let's get started. So let's see what's going on for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in love. What's going on for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in love? All right, we got two cards that fell out. Alrighty, so the two cards that fell out, we have the Nine of Swords reversed and the Seven of Pentacles reversed. So it seems as though there's a lot of overthinking about something. There is a lot of maybe anxiety, overthinking, like I said, maybe having a hard time sleeping, wanting to give up, being very inconsistent, that sort of thing. And we have the Seven of Swords right here, King of Swords reversed, Knight of Pentacles reversed, and then we have the Lovers reversed right there. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, or this could just be the energy of that. With the Lovers reversed, that kind of talks about choices. It talks about what we value, our morals, our philosophies, that sort of thing. And then we have at the bottom of the deck the Seven of Wands reversed. So there's this theme. First of all, there's a big theme here. There are three sevens. We have the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Wands, which is really interesting. And we have a lot of Pentacles and we have a lot of Swords. So it seems as though there seems to be some sort of conflict in terms of like overthinking, and a lot of conflict in relation to mental conflict in relation to security, what you feel is secure, what you value, whether your values are secure enough for you, whether your beliefs are stable, that sort of thing. It seems as though there's a lot of questioning about a lot of things here. And there's this vibe of wanting to give up. There's a vibe of like wanting to run away, to like not deal with it, and kind of just like wing it, which is really interesting. So we have the Seven of Wands reversed, right? Like I said, Seven of Wands reversed. This basically talks about, this can be you basically wanting to give up, right? Wanting to just drop everything and run away, whether this is in your romantic relationships or your platonic relationships, whatever it is. There's this energy with the Seven of Wands reversed of just like putting in the bare minimum and expecting everything to kind of go fine. And then like whenever you don't get the results that you want, you're like, well, oh well, there's nothing else that I can do. I put in my my end of the bargain and it didn't work out, so it must not be meant to be, if that kind of makes sense. That's kind of what that's saying here with the Seven of Wands reversed. This is someone who also runs away from opposition, runs away from obstacles. And it seems as though this is kind of a theme here of running away from obstacles, running away from facing something head on, wanting to give up, not wanting to deal with the challenges, not wanting to deal, with the ups and downs of it all. That's kind of what it seems like here. And we have this Knight of Swords, right? Which could be you overthinking about something. And with the King of Swords reversed, it seems as though Capricorn, you feel as though you don't really have a game plan. You're not really thinking ahead. And I can definitely see that with the Seven of Swords, like you kind of impulsively doing something. And then maybe either end up overestimating yourself, or you just take on way too much, or you just do something incredibly just like out of nowhere with so much impulse, and then you end up kind of just like dropping everything because there was no plan, because everything was just done on a whim, is kind of what it seems like, whatever this is for you, right? And so there's this vibe of like, oh shit, I got myself into something and now I don't know what to do. Now I just want to give up. Seven of Pentacles reversed. It's that same energy of wanting to give up, being very inconsistent, being very up and down, wanting instant gratification, wanting, you know, your short-term desires to be met. And the same thing with the Knight of Pentacles reversed here, is that inconsistency, wanting the instant gratification, trying to take shortcuts, right? And again, that Seven of Swords is the same thing, trying to take a shortcut. This is you trying to take a shortcut in some sort of situation. Maybe it's because this relationship is disharmonious. Maybe you're trying to sidestep whatever conflict has to be solved between you and this other person. Or maybe you are trying to sidestep some sort of confrontation, whether it's with other people or with yourself even, like confronting something within yourself. Or maybe, I don't know, like maybe you have to confront a choice that you have to make, or whatever it is. And with the Lovers reverse, it seems as though, you know, for some of you, you might have a choice to make between what is actually right for you versus what is tempting, what is instantly pleasurable, that kind of thing, you know? And with the Knight of Pentacles reverse and the Seven of Pentacles reverse, this really tells me that, like, at this moment in time, it seems as though you value instant gratification more rather than what is actually right for you, rather than what is meant for you, rather than what is like fulfilling for you in the long term, in the long run, is what it seems like. What it seems like. So it's almost like you're leaning towards making a choice that is instantly gratifying, and maybe that choice has to do with running away, with kind of leaving out of nowhere, with ghosting. That's kind of what it seems like here, is kind of just doing everything on a whim, being kind of impulsive, perhaps even saying one thing about this dynamic and maybe how dedicated you are and this and that, but then the reality is that maybe you feel something completely different. And it just seems as though you are at odds with yourself. In a way, you're at odds with your values, with your morals, with what you believe in, that sort of thing, because of that Lovers reverse. And so it's like, I guess this is kind of saying, what are you doing? What are you possibly doing, Capricorn, that is compromising your integrity, your dignity, that is compromising your beliefs, your morals, your values, just so that you can kind of skate by the situation, to skate out of things, to kind of just like avoid any sort of casualties or avoid confrontation or whatever the case is right here. We have the Five of Cups and the Eight of Swords, Capricorn. So you might be feeling really disappointed or feeling like you don't have a choice. It just seems as though like you're focusing on all of the negative within whatever dynamic or situation this is. There's just this theme of like overthinking, wanting to give up, being very pessimistic, being very gloomy, but then also not putting in the effort, not putting in the initiative to make things better. It just seems as though like there's just this feeling of being stuck in a loop and of almost like being complacent in a way, and not having enough discipline to fix things, not having enough discipline to create a strategy or to create some sort of game plan within whatever dynamic this is. This is such an interesting vibe here, because that's like what a big theme is like overthinking, feeling trapped, wanting to give up, being very inconsistent, a lack of discipline, but then also not having a game plan. Literally, Seven of Swords, not having a game plan. King of Swords reversed, not having a game plan. Knight of Swords reversed, not having a game plan. There's this energy of jumping into something way too quickly and it ends up blowing up in your face. And then once you jumped into it, you realize like, oh shit, I don't know if I want this. I don't know if this is something that I want to do. I don't know if this is like, if this is right for me. I don't know if I enjoy this, like whatever this is, just like kind of realizing like, oh man, I may have fucked up a little bit is kind of what it seems here, Capricorn. And it seems as though like you're really tempted to take the easy way out, to try to take a shortcut, to try to just do things the easy way, to try to avert, basically like holding yourself responsible, holding yourself accountable is what it seems like here. And what this spread is kind of saying is that you have to hold yourself accountable, Capricorn, in however way that might signify to you, by taking initiative or by being, or like doing something that pushes you out of this Eight of Swords mindset of either feeling like a victim or feeling helpless or feeling powerless in some sort of way. Maybe some of you got into like some sort of dynamic very impulsively and you were very excited, but then that quickly kind of fizzled out and you realized that maybe this isn't something that you see yourself in the long term, and now you don't really know what to do. There was never really any sort of game plan when it came to this dynamic, and so now it seems as though you just kind of want to give up, you want to run away, you don't want to deal with it anymore, but it seems that you kind of have to deal with the consequences of your actions. And that doesn't necessarily mean like being punished or anything like that, but it means like holding yourself accountable and doing the appropriate, making the appropriate actions in order to get yourself out of the situation, or to like walk away from it, but in a way that is like mature and not causing so much tumult, I guess you could say. It's not something that you can run away from. It's something that you have to directly confront. This isn't a thing where you can just like ghost everything and expect not to be held accountable. I feel that accountability is really important for you. And I also think that it's important to just be mindful of jumping into anything blindly. Knight of Swords reversed. Jumping into anything blindly just out of sheer excitement and impulse and adrenaline, right? Because that's kind of where that's sometimes we end up kind of making, where we kind of like fuck ourselves over sometimes, right? Whenever we don't have a plan, whenever we just jump into something blindly with no plan, with no idea as to what we're doing, without really getting to know the person that much, we're just like having very little insight, just like doing it off of impulse, right? And then when we want to go back, when we want to like rewind everything, when we realize that this isn't what we want, we're like, oh shit. And then we realize that we don't know where the exit is, because when we were going in, we weren't looking at our surroundings, right? We were so caught up in the impulse and the excitement of it all. So that's kind of what it seems like for you, Capricorn, is just that theme. And it seems as though with the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Seven of Pentacles reversed, this is really calling you to focus on your long-term goals, or to think of what you want in the long term rather than what you want in this very moment in time. And how can you work towards that, and how can you be more consistent? Are you willing to be more diligent, to be more patient? Are you willing to do things by the book? Because with the Knight of Pentacles reversed specifically, this is saying how there, like with the Knight of Pentacles, this is saying that there are no shortcuts. There is no easy way to do certain things. You sometimes just have to go by the book, no matter how tedious this is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with that being said, that's kind of where the King of Swords comes in, of like building a game plan, thinking 10 steps ahead, having a strategy, you know, having a blueprint in mind as to what goes where and how to do certain things, and, you know, following the instructions in that, you know, and just taking initiative rather than just like running away and averting conflict just because we don't want to face it, or whatever the case might be for us. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what's coming through for you, Capricorn. I hope that this was helpful in some way. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. And yeah, I guess I'll talk to you later. Bye.